True progress isn't about perfection. It's about persistence and showing up for the journey every single day. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Leaders Realm podcast. I'm your host, Tony Cammarata, serial entrepreneur, certified Maxwell team member, business coach, personal mindset coach, sales trainer, and speaker. Happy New Year, guys, to every single one of you. I know it's been a few weeks since my last episode, but between the travel and the hype of the holidays, and I got to tell you, a break to just stop and sharpen the axe was well needed. I'm back. And boy, I tell you what, 2025 is going to be an amazing year for all of us to just thrive. Today, I want to dive into a timely topic, one that hits home for so many of us this time of year. It's New Year's resolutions. I don't want to just talk about making them, but explore how to reframe them for real, lasting success. So sit back, guys, grab that coffee, and let's transform the way we approach not just this year, but our entire lives. Why is it that every year, millions of us set New Year's resolutions? Why is it such a ritual that it's almost as ingrained as fireworks on New Year's Eve or 4th of July? I mean, think about it. We vow lose weight, get in shape, save, or make more money. But there's a hard truth. And that hard truth is that at least 80% of us will fail by February. February, guys. And what's really interesting to me is that in the past few weeks, I've been asking some people about what their resolutions are. And these are some of the answers that I've been getting. Some shared that, they've shared some of their resolutions. They wanted to either get healthier, lose weight, make more money, maybe get a new job. But what's really interesting is that some shared that they weren't going to be making any, that they're overrated. And my question is, are they? Are they really overrated? Or do you think that maybe those folks were just so tired of failing? So let me ask you this. It's January 10th. How are your resolutions coming along? Why do we keep doing something that clearly doesn't work for most people? I want to really spend a little time and unpack that. So the traditional approach to resolutions sets us up for failure. I mean, think about it. They're typically way overly ambitious. They're vague. Many of them don't even have a plan at all, let alone a clear one. We say things like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to save more money, without asking the deeper questions about why these goals matter to us, or how we're even going to take the first step towards achieving them. We're drawn to huge and just big, flashy goals because they sound so impressive. But we rarely just stop and think about the long-term commitment and the changes that are required to make them stick. You see this disconnect between what we want and what we're willing to do is the major reason for failure. Another issue is the all or nothing mentality. So many times we just sit back and we just bring to the resolutions, well, it's all or nothing, guys. I'm all in. We think that if we slip once, we failed completely. If your resolution is to eat healthy and you indulge in a slice of cake, it's easy to throw up your hands and think, well, I blew it. It's over. I'll just give up. You see, this mindset, this is the perfectionist mindset. It doesn't leave room for growth, for learning, or even grace. It's no wonder so many resolutions are abandoned. The first sign of struggle. The failure often stems from a mindset issue. No matter what it is, guys, you peel those layers of the onion back, and when you get to the core, it's always the same. It's about mindset. You see, when we set resolutions, we're focused on the outcome rather than the process. We're looking at the end goal, the weight loss, the savings account, the vacations, the better relationship. But what we're not doing is we're not paying attention to the journey that's required to get there. And that's where the reframing comes in. So let's take a moment to just consider the cultural aspect of the resolution. There's such a huge societal pressure to set goals at the start of the year. Even if you're not ready or don't feel inspired. Well, everybody else is doing it, I guess I got to do it too. See, this pressure can lead to setting superficial goals that lack personal meaning. We're chasing goals for the sake of chasing goals, not because they align with who we are or what we truly want. And this misalignment, guys, it's just another reason why so many of them fail. Reframing your resolution starts with shifting your mindset from being a results-driven to growth-driven. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, focus on what you want to become. This subtle but powerful shift, it changes everything. So if we break it down, if your resolution is to lose 20 pounds, try reframing it. Reframe it to, I want to become a better person. A person who prioritizes health and wellness every single day. You notice how this reframing isn't about the number on the scale, it's about an identity and a lifestyle. In fact, I had to buckle down and make this very commitment myself a little over 3 years ago. After years and years of yo-yo diets and starting to work out and getting hurt and not working out anymore and losing the weight, then gaining it back and gaining more back to a point where I reached almost 300 pounds, guys. And my health, it was a mess. I decided that I would make my health and wellness a priority every single day and recommitted each and every morning. Since then, I've lost close to 100 pounds. And I'm probably in the best shape that I've been since my teens. Why is this so effective? Because when you focus on becoming a certain type of person, you create habits that naturally lead to your desired results. James Clear wrote a book, and in the book he wrote, the name of the book is actually Atomic Habits. He explains every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So when you reframe your resolution as an identity shift, you're no longer chasing an outcome, but you're embodying a transformation. Think about this for a minute. When you focus on the person that you want to become, the day-to-day actions that align with the identity become less and less of a chore and more of a natural extension of who you are. For instance, if you see yourself as a person who values health, make healthier food choices, or committing to regular exercise, doesn't feel like a burden anymore. Instead, it becomes a natural part of your lifestyle. The shift also builds resilience. Why? Because you're not tied to a single outcome or a deadline. This was huge for me. You're committed to a lifelong journey of growth, not a fleeting resolution. This reframing allows you to adapt and stay consistent even when the challenges arise. And let's not forget the spiritual aspect of this either. Romans 12:2 reminds us to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Guys, we've got to constantly renew our mind each and every day. Crap happens. Crap gets in the way. Life will make us trip up and fall on our faces. Get up, reframe, and become the person you want to be. When you shift your mindset and align your goals with a deeper sense of purpose, you're not just changing your habits, you're renewing your spirit. And it's not just about self-improvement. It's about becoming the person that God created you to be. The next step in reframing your resolutions is to embrace micro goals. I mention micro goals every chance I get while coaching or even on this podcast. See, big goals, they feel overwhelming. I mean, for me, if I had to look at it and say, man, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, that would have freaked me out in month number 1. I'd have been done. Instead, it was, hey, just go out for a walk. That's how it all started for me. Just go out for a walk. Big goals can feel so overwhelming so many times. It's why we abandon them. But when you break them down into smaller, manageable steps, you start to create a roadmap. And that roadmap leads to success. Let's look at another example. Suppose, I don't know, you want to save 10 grand this year. Instead of focusing on 10 grand, break it down into micro goals. How much does that mean saving each month, each week? Even this, break it down to the ridiculous. How much do I need to set aside each day? Then, and this is important, build a system around that. Maybe it's automating your savings, cutting back on unnecessary expenses, finding a side hustle to bring in extra money and just put that money aside. Systems are the backbone of success. A goal gives you the direction, but a system gives you the tools to get there. Think of it like this. If a goal is your destination, the system is the vehicle. And guess what, guys? The why is the fuel that powers it. What makes a system so truly effective? It's all about the consistency and the simplicity. Break everything down to the simplest form you possibly can. For me, I was sharing this with someone last night. My journey began where the micro goals were so ridiculous that when the alarm went off in the morning at 5:30, it was get your feet on the ground. From there, it was brush your teeth, wash up, get dressed. From there, it was get to the door. Then the next micro goal, get to the car. The next micro goal, get to the gym. And I was sharing that there were so many mornings that I'd sit in the parking lot of the gym saying, man, do I really want to do this? But I had to reframe that and think, well, I just got to get from the door to the door to the gym. The door of my car to the door to the gym. Once I got in the gym, I was okay. The more automated or ingrained your system becomes by doing this step by step each and every day, the less effort it takes. And you can maintain it for a much longer period of time. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but man, that's what I had to do for myself. I had to break it down into tiny, tiny bite-sized pieces just like that to get going. If your goal is to improve your fitness, set up a weekly workout schedule, one that fits seamlessly into your routine. Make it so straightforward that even if you skip it, it becomes an inconvenience. But even more important, guys, is the micro goal of doing something every day. Another key to the success is reviewing and adjusting your systems regularly. For me, it was, man, I didn't hit my number this week. I didn't hit my workouts. I don't feel as good as I did. I didn't sleep enough. I didn't eat enough. I ate too much. I just had to constantly change the things that I ate. It took me a while to learn how to properly eat. And that's okay, because ultimately I knew that I was on a journey. At that point when I started, I was mid-50s, 55. And I thought, well, you know what? It took me 55 years to get here. This is not going to happen next month or even next year. It's going to take time. So instead of putting a deadline on it, I chose to just sit back, create a plan, break it down into micro goals and bite-sized pieces, and execute every single day something. Until this day, I continue to do the same thing. And be flexible. Flexibility is so important. Like I said earlier, life happens. But your system should be able to adapt without derailing your progress. Here's another thought. Stack your habits. Stack your habits to build momentum, which is exactly what I did. I stacked the habits of getting my feet on the ground, brushing my teeth, getting to the door, getting dressed, getting to the door, getting to the car door, getting to the gym, getting from my car into the gym. I just stacked them and stacked them and stacked them. So take your morning routine and just add small steps towards your goal. Maybe after brushing your teeth, you stop and you write down one thing that you're grateful for, just to build that gratitude practice. Stacking habits like this makes it so much easier to stick with new behaviors. You start to create those patterns. You start creating positive patterns. Remember, small actions compound over time. And in Zechariah 4:10, it says, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Just start. And don't go overboard either. Small bite-sized pieces. Celebrate every micro step forward, because those steps are building the foundation. And they're building a foundation for something much greater. Another key to reframing resolutions is aligning them with your core values. If your goals aren't tied with what truly matters to you, staying committed is going to be a struggle, always. And that doesn't tie to just resolutions, it's any goal. Take the time to reflect on your values. What drives you? What brings you joy? What brings you fulfillment? Then ensure that your resolutions and your goals align with these principles. So if one of your core values is family, a resolution to work less and spend more quality time at home might resonate more deeply than a generic goal to just, hey, I'm going to reduce stress. When your resolutions are rooted in your values, they become more meaningful and more sustainable. You see, values-based resolutions also provide clarity during decision making. Imagine your resolution is to prioritize health, and you're tempted to skip a workout for extra screen time. When you reflect on your core value of wellness, it becomes easier to make the choice that aligns with your long-term vision rather than the short-term gratification. Listen to that again. It becomes easier to make choices that align with your long-term vision rather than your short-term gratification. Sacrifice the short-term gratification, guys, for the long-term end result. See, I know, and it's been ingrained in me now, I know that if I have that slice of pizza for that gratification of, man, I feel like having some pizza, that gooey cheese, and I know the results that I'm going to get, and it's going to be a setback for me. So I have to stop and ask, how is this going to align with my long-term vision? And is it worth sacrificing that for that short-term gratification? Write down your top 3 to 5 values. Then evaluate each resolution that you've set. Does it align properly? Does it reflect what you stand for? Does it contribute to the person that you want to become? If not, guess what? Stop, revise it, or replace it. In Proverbs, we read, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he'll establish your plans. Give it up to him. When you align your goals with your values and your purpose, you invite God's guidance and his blessings in your journey. This alignment doesn't make your resolutions more achievable, it makes them more meaningful. And meaningful is what it's about. That will fuel you to get to that next step. Living in alignment with your values also fosters a sense of integrity and authenticity. And I talk about authenticity all the time. Be you. You're not just chasing goals for external validation. And if you are, check that. I spent a lot of time doing that. You're creating a life that reflects who you truly are. Not me, not your neighbor, not your spouse, not your friend. Who you truly are. And when your actions and values align, the journey becomes as rewarding as the destination. And understand that when the real you starts to come out because you are on your journey, achieving your goals, your dreams, you're going to piss some people off. And that's okay. Because they won't get out of their own way and take care of themselves. Now let's talk about accountability. Oh boy, right? Most of the time resolutions fail because we try to go it alone. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're afraid to share what our goals are because we know that there's such a high percentage chance that we're going to fail. And we worry about what others think. And you've heard me talk about that in other episodes. Who cares? And you know what, guys? Most of the time, they're so stinking busy in their own lives, they don't care. But we think they do. Invite others in on your journey. When you do that, you create that bond of accountability, which increases your chances of success. Find an accountability partner. Join a group. Better yet, hire a coach. Share your goals with someone who will encourage you, challenge you, and guess what? Celebrate your wins with you. You see, accountability isn't just about having someone to answer to. It's about building a community that supports your growth. Think of the people in your life who inspire you. They inspire you to be better, to be the best that you can be. These are the individuals who can walk alongside you. They can offer you guidance and perspective when the road gets tough. And they can kick you in the butt when you need it to. Sometimes accountability, it goes beyond just one person. It can be a network. Joining a group with shared goals can provide an even greater sense of motivation. It could be a fitness class, a mastermind group for entrepreneurs, a Bible study. Communities foster connection and shared growth. In Hebrews, we read, spur one another on toward love and good deeds, and to encourage one another. Surrounding yourself with supportive and like-minded individuals can make the difference between sticking with your resolution or goal and giving up at the first hurdle you come to. Set up regular check-ins. Check in with your accountability partner or your group. Check-in could be as simple as a weekly phone call, quick text update, sharing some pictures of your progress. It creates a sense of structure and keeps you focused on your progress. Another aspect of accountability is tracking your progress. That's probably the most important. Whether you use a journal, an app, simple checklist, tracking your achievements keeps your goals top of mind. Plus, seeing how far you've come can motivate you, but can also kick you in the butt when you realize that you're not putting in the work that you should be putting in. Remember, accountability isn't just about external validation, guys. I've mentioned that 2 or 3 times now. It's about partnership. It's about building a support system. One of my favorite quotes in the Bible is Galatians 6:2. It says, carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you'll fulfill the law of Christ. Walk alongside each other, lift each other up, encourage each other. When we hold each other accountable, we create a powerful bond, one that drives us all toward greater success. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I mean, setbacks, they're inevitable. You're going to have days where you slip up, fall behind, feel like giving up. But here's the truth. Injuries, for my case, 2 or 3 times already in the past 3 years, injuries, but I was able to overcome them. I didn't allow it to define me or define my journey, and you shouldn't either. But how we respond to them certainly does. The first step in overcoming a setback is to reframe it. Reframe a setback as an opportunity for growth. Instead of seeing it as a failure, view it as a valuable lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What adjustments do I need to make to my approach? Every setback carries the seed of a comeback. Every setback carries the seed of a comeback. But you've got to choose to see it that way. Myself, I've lost count of how many adjustments I've made over the past few years. But I've embraced the opportunity to learn and adjust. And to be honest, it's become a fun sport. It's a lot of fun just sitting back and evaluating and say, okay, well, I need to change this. What can I change today? What can I learn from this? What can I learn from that? And another key, something that's extremely hard for me and for a lot of people, is to practice self-compassion. We are our harshest critics. We beat ourselves up for not being perfect. But remember, guys, perfection is not the goal here. Progress is. When we extend grace to ourselves, we create the mental space to analyze what went wrong without the burden of guilt or shame. Let's consider a practical example. Suppose, let's set a goal here. Your goal is to exercise 5 days a week. But 1 week, you only manage 2. Well, you know what? Instead of dwelling on what you didn't do, celebrate the fact that you showed up twice. Then identify what were the barriers that held me back and brainstorm with your accountability partner ways to address it. Was it a scheduling conflict, low energy, lack of motivation? By understanding the root cause, you can make the necessary adjustments and get back on track. The key is to get back on track. Create a setback recovery plan. It's a predetermined strategy. How am I going to handle the challenges ahead? For example, if you miss a workout, your recovery plan might be involved doing a shorter section the next day or incorporating more movement into your daily routine. Do something every day. Having a plan in place reduces the likelihood of abandoning your goals. Here's a pretty powerful mindset shift. Focus on the long game. One misstep doesn't erase the progress that you've made, guys. It's just a small bump in the road on your way to success. Every day is an opportunity for a new beginning. Finally, lean on your support system. Share your struggles. Share them with a trusted friend, your mentor, coach, accountability partner. Sometimes just simply just talking about our challenges lightens the load. And it opens the door to fresh perspectives and solutions. I want to talk about a couple of tools that help me, and I know they're going to supercharge your resolutions. Visualization and affirmation. These practices go way beyond just thinking positively. They help rewire the mindset and reinforce the behaviors that lead to success. Visualization is about imagining yourself achieving your goals, stepping into the identity that you truly desire. Close your eyes. Picture what your life will look like when you've accomplished your resolution. What are you doing in that moment? How do you feel? Who's around you? Get as vivid as possible. It's not just about daydreaming. It's a way to train your brain to recognize opportunities and stay motivated. You just dedicate a few minutes each day. Visualize your goals. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes. Focus on the outcome you want to achieve. Add as much sensory detail as possible. What do you see? What do you hear in the background? What do you smell even? What do you feel? This practice helps us anchor our goals in our mind. It keeps us focused on the bigger picture. And what about affirmations? Affirmations are positive statements. They challenge the negative beliefs and reinforce our commitment to our goals. They're a way to speak life into our journey. If your resolution is to improve your health, you might say, I'm strong, I'm disciplined, I'm committed to my wellness, I'm no longer bound to medications. Repeating these affirmations daily rewires our thought patterns. It builds confidence in our ability to succeed. See, in Proverbs, we read that the tongue has the power of life and death. The words that you speak to yourself have the power to shape your reality. When you declare affirmations over your life, you're speaking truth and possibility into existence. Write down a list of these affirmations. Ones that resonate with your goals, your values, things that shake you to the core. Post them where you see them often. Your bathroom mirror, your desk, your computer screen, your car, your rearview mirror, your phone background. Say them out loud with intention every morning and before bed. You see, visualization and affirmation are like the fuel for your journey. They keep your eyes fixed on the prize and your mind aligned with your purpose. Combined with other strategies that we've discussed, aligning your values, building your systems, embracing accountability, they create a powerful framework for success, guys. You can become unstoppable. And that's my hope for you this year. As I wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Our New Year's resolutions or any other goals, guys, don't have to be a source of frustration or disappointment. When you reframe them with the right mindset, clear systems, supportive communities, they become a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. So this year, guys, I challenge you, think differently. Don't just set your resolutions. Create a vision for who you want to become and the life you want to build and the life you want to live. Remember, success isn't about perfection. It's about progress. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Leader's Realm. If you found this conversation helpful today, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts. I want to hear your resolutions. I want to hear how you're doing. I want to know, share some of the ways you're reframing your goals with me and your mindset. As always, please subscribe, leave a review, share this episode with someone that you know needs a little extra inspiration this year. So until next time, guys, I'm Tony Cammarata, reminding you, lead with purpose, live with intention, Step boldly into the realm of possibility. Stay fast, stay fluid, stay flexible, and be the absolute best that you can be. Why? Because, guys, your best is yet to come. Happy New Year.